Welcome everyone to another race with the Everyday Zwifter. Today I thought I'd do a Crit City race in the Bell Lap direction. I actually can't remember the last time, if I've ever even done one in this direction. Fortunately for me, someone by the name of Caedmon Cycling has done plenty this way, and hopefully I've picked up some tips from him. Looks like there's a good sized field. I think there's 28. Get going once the start goes. Here we go. As always, important to get a fast start. Just to ensure you can jump in with the lead group. And as it happens, Caedmon Cycling is doing this race. Not planned at all, folks, but we had planned to meet at some stage, so here we go. Heading up the rollers, each one gets a little bit steeper than the one before. A couple of red numbers popping up, it's a bit concerning. Hopefully I don't have to match them. We get to the top of the course, as it were, and looks like we've pretty much got our front group. I think P. Gregory is going to join us and make a group of 14 in the front. And you can see how much of an effort we've all been putting in at the start by the amount of red appearing in the graph down below. Mostly over FTP. So looking forward to a bit of R&R on the way down this hill. Hang a left here, and this time we're going down the cobble climb. In the other direction, of course, this is the climb that you go up. Plenty of ride-ons to be had. Group sticking nice and tight. Just been coming off a bit of a break. Had some time away with the family. Now getting back into it. Had a joyride the night before to freshen up the legs, and I thought I'd have a go at a Crit City to see how we go on fresher legs. So far in the first lap, it's not feeling that good, to be honest. Coming down what's pretty much the finishing straight as you hook around this corner. And there it is, the finishing arch. And the start of a new lap. Lap 2, see what kind of power up we're going to get this time. We've got the aero. So that'll be helpful at some stage to either rejoin if I look like getting dropped, or just to have a spell and save some energy. Probably a bit too early to think about keeping it to the end of the race. Giving another 5 laps really to see if I can pick one up again later. So I've pretty well decided by now that I'm going to pop that arrow now and just do a bit of recovery after coming up that climb. I'm not sure why, but I always seem to find myself at the back of the pack, dangling off a few meters, or I'm not sure if it's the way I ride, it's the psychology of it, or it's just the power levels that I run at. Anyway, it's always a danger if someone gets a bit tired and drop off, and then all of a sudden someone like that pops a burrito and you're losing a bit of draft Fortunately, there's a few people to draft and just ramp up the power coming down the hill and can draft my way back on. But that is the danger of hanging at the back like that. This is a position which is probably safer and more comfortable to ride at, because you don't have to chase that elastic band when it stretches out, and you can chase any moves that pop off the front easily. Looks like we've just lost a rider, so we're down to 13 in the front group. So just coming to the end of the second lap, now we're starting the third lap. And we've got my least favourite power up, the Ghost. So I can turn invisible for a short while and I just dump that because I'm not going to leap off the front or anything silly. We jump to the end of the third lap. It's fairly uneventful. Start of the fourth lap. What power up have we got? We've got another Ghost. Woohoo! That's not going to help me save energy. So we dump that again. Continue on for another lap. Fairly uneventful again. Come to the end of the fourth lap. Start of the fifth lap. And what have we got? Oh, a burrito this time. It's always a bit of a conundrum when you get a burrito. If you're a nice guy, you don't like to drop people from the pack, but it is a race, so that's fair. It's a tool that you've been given. So I'm not going to dump it. I'm actually going to use it at some stage. I haven't decided yet. As we go up these hills, it always stretches out a little bit. And Caedmon Cycling actually pops his burrito, and I'm in his draft zone, so watch out. And I don't know if that was the cause or not, but it really did start to stretch out here. And I recognise my opportunity, nasty as it is, to pop my burrito and try and force a bit of separation in the group. And as it turns out, the person behind me was the one who popped the burrito on me, so it all ends up fair. Feeling a bit guilty, I try and shoot forward and hide in the pack. There's no hiding for a fluoro jersey though, is it? And it's right about now I have a confession to make to everyone who's watched my earlier races. I have been running the Zip 454 wheels, which are a bit more all-rounder and go uphill a bit better, but they're not quite as fast in their top end speed. So this race, I am racing the 808s as I promised in my last race. In between though, I did do another race on the 454s, which went fairly well, but I didn't quite get the win. So I'm back on the 808s today, just to see if there is a difference and what I can achieve with them. And they do like going downhill. You can see the power output below is spiking every time we go up the rollers and across the top. And then as we go through this section, it's a bit more relaxed, hitting the greens and the yellows. So start of the 6th lap, what power up did we get? We have got the van. So I'm actually going to pop that somewhere around the lap for a bit of recovery. We're heading to the end of the 6th lap. Good position in the pack still, top 13 still in place. And we've got the van again. So I've actually used that as a recovery mechanism again. I'm heading into the start of the 8th lap, hoping for a van or an aero, so we can get some speed up for our sprint finish. And I've got the feather, and I go, oh darn, I should have kept that van from the last lap. Anyway, we have what we have, and the best place to use it is just coming up as we go up these roller hills. And as I said, Caedmon Cycling has some tips for us. And I remember that he's learnt, you don't use it on the first two, you go for the 3rd one, because the last 2 rollers are the steepest. And apart from that 2nd lap, this lap is actually the funkiest. Someone shooting off the front there, and that's going to cause the pace to pick up. We use my feather, but I'm still slightly getting gapped off the group, a few behind me as well. So just close down this gap to these guys in front. Guys behind are fairly close. But then hello, the 2 guys in front of me are getting gapped off as well. So I'm putting out some watts, doing 4 watts, guys in front doing 2s and 3s and the odd 4, but I'm not getting past them. Go, oh no, sticky draft has got me, I'm trapped, let me past. Anyway, I finally get past as we hit the downhill, and I'm feeling a bit gassed out after that constant 4 kilo effort. I should have probably hit the sprint as I come down this downhill now to catch up, but I didn't feel like it. And I get to about here doing 4s, the odd 5, and I go, it's not closing, is it closing? And I nearly give up here. I think, oh, I can't do it. But then Winter comes through, and he's a big body with big watts, and he just closes it down. And I managed to ramp up my watts just enough to stay in his draft. 500 meters to go. Got to close this down to have any chance. 400 meters to go. This is often when I think about sprinting and where's my place to go. 300 meters, I often go at around 300 meters, and I haven't seen anyone go at 300 meters in Caedmon Cycling, but I go anyway. I get the jump on everyone. Hit 9 watts a kilo briefly, but then it's down to 7s, which is not that much. Anyway, clearing through the pack, got a lead, 7 meters. Then Caedmon Cycling's coming through, 10 watts a kilo, and he almost closed it down. So I just snuck across the line in front of him. So you wouldn't believe it, but I actually got the win. Heart rate's cranked up to 184, which is as much as it's ever been, so definitely had to push it. So great race, everyone. Hope you all enjoyed watching that. I might do another video on how I finished that race, because obviously I didn't have the highest power, but I managed to get across the line first. The other takeaway from this race is never give up. Even when you think you're out of it, just keep going. You never know who's going to drag you back in or what might happen to get you back on the lead group. So that's what happened in this race. I thought it was gone, but then Winters came through and he brought me back up. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.